I'm going to go over with you the key working components as to why your club car, gas-powered golf cart is not operating. If your gasoline-powered club car is not operating correctly, it could be for a variety of reasons. To identify which club car you actually have, if you look towards the front under the dash, you will see a club car identification number. This is how you can look up parts and owner's manual for the unit. Underneath the seat is where most of the components that we're going to be talking about today live. You can take the seat off. It is on some hinges while you're working on it so that you don't have to hold it up. Your key ignition is right here. As long as it turns on, it should operate. Here's a back view of it. This shouldn't be a component that gets messed up, but here's a picture in case you want to check it out. If the cart actually turns on and you can see the fuel hours gauge, then this should be operating correctly. Even though this is a gas-powered golf cart, there is a car battery that utilizes a generator alternator situation to maintain the electrical power that is needed. Now, you want to make sure that the terminals are all cleaned off, and if you have a trickle charger, charge it up just to make sure that it is full of power before each season. Underneath this plastic case lies a few electrical components. Just had a bolt that held it on. Underneath here, we can locate our fuse panel, our switches for our accelerator, and our solenoid. There's the 10 amp fuse. That's a very common thing. That's the first thing we should be checking to make sure it is not blown. There's the gear selector, forward, neutral, and reverse. If it goes reverse and you hear the beep, it should be activating correctly. The good thing about this particular cart is it belongs to a fleet. So I'm able to take components off this and swap with known good components like this solenoid here. If you didn't have another solenoid, I will link to a video in the video description about how you can test your solenoid to see if it is good or not. It's very easy to tell if it is good or not, so you don't have to replace it unnecessarily. These two switches do the exact same thing. It's kind of a redundancy system. It operates in conjunction with the accelerator pedal. Here's how it plugs in on the other side of it. And as long as both of those are operating correctly, when you hit the accelerator pedal, the button is then unpressed and the cart can move forward, given that other components are working correctly. Now, this cart will drive forward sometimes it won't. So I do know that those buttons are acting correctly. And I did test the solenoid. It did test good. So these components are not the issue. This gray cube is the voltage regulator, a key component into letting the generator alternator work correctly. If this is bad, then you could get intermittent issues to where you hit the accelerator and the battery starts to spin the clutch, but the engine won't kick on because the generator won't turn on, thus activating the gasoline power. So if this component is bad, it'll almost be like the cart is trying to go and get into gear, but it won't actually go forward. And we know the ignition key switch is good because when the key is in and you can see it's stuck in the on position, we can read the hours and fuel gauge. So we know that it is actually on. This is the spark plug. There is only one right next to the valve. You can pull it out and inspect it, make sure that that is looking good. What plugs into it is the ignition coil. This component is a little bit more difficult to replace if you need to. It is unlikely that it is bad. If the spark plug is looking good, this is unlikely the cause of your problem. Here is the ignition coil and an older one, a new one to an old one. There is a fuel filter. Just make sure that this looks clean and can flow through it, and it's good. Here is your generator located on the back. You can refurbish this, but there are drive belts. You need to make sure that those belts are intact and operating correctly and that they're not broken or have fallen off. Below the generator, in this kind of metal housing to the side, is the clutch, which kicks on the alternator and then will activate the gasoline-powered engine. I know that was very brief, but that is a quick overview of all the major components. And before I have you rebuild your alternator, I'll link to that in another video. I wanted to go over all these components of the golf cart. To help guide you in the right direction, here is a list of common issues that will likely be the problem for your gasoline-powered golf cart. This is probably one of the things causing your problem. These are some unlikely issues that may be causing your problem. Again, these are not the only issues, but this is where we should start our investigation on fixing your golf cart. If you found this content helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions at all, please leave a comment and look at the video description for links to other similar videos.